G'day Bomber fans, the 2023 draft completed not long ago, so let's keep the draft theme going. Today I'm going to highlight Essendon's draft success through the father-son selections. We've had 9 of them since the inception of the list management strategy by the AFL, so let's talk about them. Here are Essendon's father-son picks graded. We start off with our first ever father-son selection, Dustin Fletcher, the son of Ken Fletcher. It's not often a 250 gamer has a kid who outdoes him career-wise. Fletcher is one of the best defenders to have ever played for Essendon or just in the AFL in general. He's one of just a handful of players to have ever played 400 games. He is the second oldest player to have ever played AFL footy. The guy was running around it for us at age 40, which is just nuts. He's a 2-time premiership player, 2-time All-Australian, Crichton medal winner. When you think back to past players you want playing for Essendon now, his name comes up regularly. The long arms, the barrels from outside 50. The guy's played across 3 different decades. He was a big part of many Essendon fans' lives. I'm a modern day fan but have many memories of Fletcher down back. He's one of the most well-respected and most loved Essendon players of the last 20 or 30 or 40 years. The grades don't really mean much, but you got to give him the highest grade anyone can get. The guy's an AFL legend. From Dustin Fletcher to Jobe Watson, it's a pretty good list so far. It took another 10 years for us to draft a father-son. Watson was taken in the 2002 draft, the son of legendary Tim Watson. We have discussed 4 players so far, all Essendon royalty. Jobe Watson is one of my all-time favourite Essendon players. You look at players who deserved success, and Watson was one of them. He carried this club on his shoulders through the drug period, deserved so much better. He was ridiculed for months as the lone name in the scandal. The way he conducted himself throughout that whole period, had his Brownlow taken away, missed so much footy, was booed by opposition fans. The guy is such a passionate Essendon man, still is. You can tell when he's commentating. Only player in this video to be named captain of the club, 2-time All-Australian, technically not a Brownlow medalist, but we all know he is one. He won the Crichton 3 times, another A+. He may not have his Brownlow, but he has a random Essendon fan on YouTube giving him a high grade, so it makes up for it. A few years later, we got Neagle, the son of Merv, who passed away a little under over 10 years ago in an unfortunate car accident. Merv was a premiership player for us. Jay unfortunately joined us at a pretty bad time. He could only manage 20 to 30 games, kicked a pretty decent amount of goals for that time considering he was delisted a handful of seasons after being drafted. He looked the goods for a while there, big strong forward, had some good performances, unfortunately struggled to stay match fit as was the case in his draft year. He was delisted in 2011, he was taken pretty late in the draft, for free really when you think about it, how the father-son works, so let's give him a C, only because there are worse to come. Darcy Daniher, the son of Anthony, older brother of Joe, who I'm going to get to later. He was taken at pick 39, hard to give him a pass grade considering the dude barely played. Now this is actually pretty interesting though. I didn't remember what actually happened to him until looking into his career a bit. I just assumed he was delisted, but he played 6 AFL games between 2008 and 2011. He actually had a horrible run with injuries, specifically his groin, so he had ongoing groin issues like his brother, which in the end forced him to retire early, so it clearly runs in the family, groin issues. Unfortunately, we never got anything out of Daniher, but it wasn't really his fault, so we have to go a little easier on him and give him a D. Joe Daniher, his brother, very controversial figure in the Essendon community. I love the guy still. I think he made the right decision leaving. He protected his mental health and got away from us while we were a whole of a club. I reckon you can be mad at players for leaving for success, but Joe wanted his body and mind in a better place, and he got that at Brisbane. He was an All-Australian forward with us, Crichton medal winner, has since gone on to feature in the All-Australian squad of 44 and play in a grand final, which he lost narrowly. He's also battled injuries, but seems to be all better now in his new environment. Good on him, 177 games, 337 goals. It's a pretty great career so far. I'm going to give him a B+. Jake Long, I remember when we had Jake Long and Joe Daniher in the same team. It was a big moment for Essendon fans. It was during the drug scandal in 2016. It was like a glimpse into the future, except Daniher left us and Long was delisted. Jake was the son of Essendon legend Michael Long, AFL legend Michael Long. The guy's one of the most influential figures for the development of the game and the culture around it. His son, unfortunately, is not quite at that level. He played 5 games, never really looked any good, was delisted in 2019. He gets a D, and you're soon going to find out why he doesn't get a grade lower because there's some worse players to come. Tom Wallis, I'm not even joking when I say I didn't know who this guy was. He was the son, or he still is the son, of Premiership player Dean Wallis. He played a few VFL games, was never close to playing AFL it seems. I probably would have remembered him if he was. He was taken in the rookie draft in 2015, delisted less than a year later. I want you guys to be honest, let me know if you remember this player. It's not even that long ago, 2015, a year before Andy McGrath, but he gets an E. I can't give him much more if I can't remember the guy. Alrighty, current day, Jayden Davey. We're yet to see him do anything really. No AFL, no VFL. He's recovering from a knee reconstruction. We will hopefully see plenty of him next year across the VFL while he develops, but for now, I guess we give the kid a C. It's been a year and he's still at the club. Can't really call it a pass or a fail considering we've only seen him jog laps around the hangar. And finally, Alwyn Davey Jr, the son of Alwyn Davey, the twin brother of Jayden. How good was it for Froggy to get that 100th game so we could draft these kids? Davey Jr looked pretty promising, played early into the season, managed almost half the year, kicked some really handy goals, very skinny, undersized, but we're seeing him develop. A C+ for now, not seen enough of him to really judge, it's only been a year. But that is that, those are Essendon father-son selections graded. Let me know what you think down below, who is your favourite of these guys, and let's make it interesting. Tell me your favourite, but you can't include Watson or Fletcher. But that's all. Like, subscribe, and go Bombers.